All right, good morning, everybody. The Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel, and this video today is going to be about AJ Lee and Paige. I think AJ Lee is the babe of the WWE Divas. She has been for quite some time. Obviously, the Diva division is not like anything it used to be in the past. If everybody remembers, it's not all that long ago, but we had the likes of Lita, Melina, Candice Michelle, Maria Kanellis, and the list goes on. Tori Wilson. They just had Kelly. The WWE Divas division had so many awesome looking babes in that division. And now it's sort of like really has thinned out a lot. And I think they used the Divas a heck of a lot more back then. We used to see evening gown matches. They'd wrestle in jello or pudding or whatnot. They'd have a bra and panties match, which we don't see anymore. And I don't know if it's because it's PG type of thing now. So things have really changed. And so the Divas division has really been narrowed down to just a number of people. We do have the Alicia Foxes and Nikki and Brie Bellas. Brie Bella will be back. So before anybody has a comment to say she's not with the company, she will be back. We also have Layla, Summer Rae, Natalia, Emma. I mean, there's a few more, but it's nothing as big as it used to be, and I really don't think it's ever going to be. Because I think the WWE is, because of the PG thing, they can't really do a lot with the Divas. They do want to keep that belt open. And right now, of course, AJ Lee regained the WWE's Divas title, as we all saw, on a Monday Night Raw from Paige. And it was sort of fitting because that's how Paige defeated AJ Lee, was the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. And, here's the thing. AJ Lee was the longest running Divas champion. Now, mind you, Divas, not women's title holder. Because if you want to go into that route, it's a whole new ball game. You got to remember the Great Moolah and everything else. The late Great Moolah, I should say. But as far as the Divas go, and now, with the departure of CM Punk after the Royal Rumble, AJ and CM Punk had their plans of getting married in June of this year. AJ Lee went through the proper channels, unlike CM Punk. WWE gave her the time off to, prepare for her wedding, get married, have a short honeymoon, and then come back. Now, with that being said, I give credit to the WWE because they were probably figuring, well, if we do this for AJ, maybe this will change CM Punk's mind. Obviously, it didn't. But AJ Lee did come back, on schedule. And Paige at the time was WWE's Divas champion. Now, Paige is a very, very good young woman's wrestler. I think she needs to sharpen up on a lot of things. I don't think she's all that great on the mic. I think with her being a face was a good thing for the WWE while AJ Lee was gone. Although AJ Lee, either way, face or heel, she's going to be popular no matter what, just because of her history here in the WWE. But I think right now with the turning point of Paige going heel, the WWE is trying to really put emphasis on her and trying to build her into a very huge woman's heel. And this can create a great feud down the road for anybody that Paige decides to wrestle or who the WWE decides for Paige to wrestle. I think her and AJ are going to have some feuds. I think the title's going to swap back and forth. But I do see somewhere down the road one of the Bellas finally, coming up and getting the Divas title. And it's been a long time. But for now, I think AJ complements Paige, and Paige is trying to help complement AJ, which AJ doesn't really need a lot to help her out because, well, we all know, for one thing, when AJ Lee comes out, you hear the CM Punk chants. And I was saying this a long while ago, 7 months ago or so, when Punk left. I said WWE's going to miss Punk, and everybody was bad-mouthing the fact that, they didn't care that Punk was gone. But now all you're hearing is about WWE misses CM Punk. And I knew this was going to be true. But anyway, be that as it may, I think Paige can become a super huge heel diva in the WWE. Now, with all that being said, once again, it all depends where the WWE wants to go with the Divas division. I mean, they can really monopolize off of this with AJ and Paige right now. Because really right now, if you think about it, without Nikki Bella or Brie Bella being in the picture, we've had Alicia Fox. And then you've got Cameron and Naomi, who to me, Naomi is a very good wrestler in her own right. I don't know whether the WWE is going to push her to the point where she ends up getting the belt somewhere down the road, but there's really nobody else. I mean, they're trying to pit Layla and Summer Rae together, but who really cares? I mean, honestly, who does really care? And Natalya really is a has-been. She's only a throwback from the Hart family and the Neidhart family. She is a good wrestler in her own right, but she's really lost a lot of steam over the last year, and I don't really see her coming back to do anything really major here in the WWE. But so for right now, with the Divas division really, very thin and not really being prominent in the WWE, I really understand for the fact too that except for the last pay-per-view Battleground, the few previous pay-per-views we've had the Divas title match right before the main event, and then they just totally dropped that out of the blue, and unexpectedly I thought maybe they still would be before the main event Battleground, but it wasn't. But anyway, look for Paige to become a very, very huge heel in the WWE Divas division. And I think we're going to see a lot of Paige and AJ Lee for the next few months. And what's going to happen here is AJ is going to really build up Paige. And once Paige is really ready to become a full-fledged heel, I think we're going to see Paige end up getting that belt and probably keeping it for quite some time. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think that WWE really needs to keep the Divas division involved in their nightly wrestling, just for the fact that everything is so thin everywhere else, and plus the fact too, they're not the girls of yesteryear. I mean, the sparkling looking beauties that we used to have, but in any event, they really can still draw if the WWE does it in the right way. So again, AJ Lee, Paige, look for them down the road. And as far as Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon goes, they're, it's sort of funny because Nikki being, assaulted, weekly on a basis with the WWE because of what Brie did. It's a possibility of Nikki turning on Brie, and if Stephanie does face Brie, Nikki helping Stephanie defeat Brie. So we'll just have to wait and see what that turns out to be. But anyway, AJ Lee and Paige, two right now on the top of the WWE Divas division. This is the Iceman on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. It's a Thursday, TNA Impact Wrestling Tonight X Division. Don't miss it. We'll see you next time.